I'm going to be real. It's so much easier to walk with the devil than it is to walk with God. Now, let's be clear. I don't recommend that. But I'm going to be real. The righteous path is always the hardest path. It's always the most challenging. Because here's the thing, the devil, he will make it easy for you. He will make it easy for you to get money. He will make it easy for you to get a house or a car or whatever material things you want in life. However, there is no peace that comes with it when it's from the enemy. There's no true joy when it comes from the enemy. See, think about celebrities. Celebrities who are obviously walking in darkness. Yeah, they might be rich, they might have money, they might have cars, they might have all the things that you think would make a person happy. And they are happy, but they don't have true joy. The difference between happiness and joy is happiness is temporary, joy is everlasting, and joy only comes from God, being close to God, seeking God, living by the fruits of the Spirit. That's where you will find true joy. That no matter what you're going through in life, you have joy in your heart because you know you have God in your life and in your heart and in your presence every single day. See, when you are just happy, that's based on, oh, I'm rich. Oh, I got a new car. Oh, I got a new house. Oh, I bought this new designer bag. That does not last. That shit is temporary. How you know whether or not you're walking with God or you're walking with the devil is when you're walking with God, you're living by the fruits of the Spirit and you're constantly seeking Him every day. When you're walking with the devil, you're constantly seeking pleasure and you're constantly engaging in the seven deadly sins: lust, greed, envy, sloth, gluttony. It's two more. Envy, sloth, wrath, which is anger, and it's one more, pride. When you're engaging in the seven deadly sins, that is how you know you're walking with the enemy. If you're not at peace, if there's constantly chaos and darkness going on in your mind, that's how you know you're walking with the enemy. Back in the day when I was walking with the enemy, I was engaging in all the seven deadly sins. I was very lustful. I was very prideful. I was very envious of other people. And I was constantly seeking pleasure, but I was not seeking God. No wonder why I felt like I was losing my mind. I was so lost. I was so confused and out of my mind, just trying to make it through the day. But now, even though it takes so much more self control walking with God, it takes so much strength, it takes so much discipline. Even so, I have so much peace and joy that I never had when I was walking with the devil, when I was tap dancing for the devil. The reason why you hear about celebrities getting into all types of crazy stuff behind closed doors is because they don't have God. They're walking with the enemy. They're walking in darkness. That's why they doing drugs. That's why they having sex with different people every night. And I'm not here to judge, but I'm just keeping it real. When you don't have God in your life, when you're not walking with God, you will always be lost. You will always feel an emptiness. You will always feel like something is missing. You will never be whole. You'll never be complete. I don't care if you believe in God or not. Without God, you will lose your mind because God grounds you, because God created you. This year has been one of the most challenging years of my life. But ironically, it's the closest I've ever been to God. It's the most strength I've ever had. It's the most peace I've ever had. It's the most trust and faith that I've ever had. Like, I've literally been in my wilderness in my Job season. Like, I've had to surrender and give up so many things. I've taken L after L, test after test, obstacle after obstacle. But it's like I just have this peace that surpasses all understanding. And I know it comes from God. And here's the thing about being on the right path. Everything will look crazy. Everything will look like it's the complete opposite of what God promised you, but you will have a peace. Anytime you try to entertain going a different route or taking a different direction, it doesn't feel right, even though shit looks crazy and the math ain't mathing. Before God elevates you, He has to humble you, and He has to get you to a point where you have no choice but to trust Him. And that's why I say walking with the enemy is easier, because ignorance is bliss. But the wisdom that comes from being close to God gives you a power and a strength that the devil could never give you. Think about Job. Think about Joseph. They had to go through the fire before God elevated them. So just trust the process. Trust God's process. Trust God's plan. Trust God's timing. If you know you're living by the fruits of the Spirit and you're seeking God every day, and you know in your heart you're on the right path, even though your physical reality looks the complete opposite, even if the math ain't mathing and things look crazy, if you know you're doing what God has called you to do, you have nothing to fear. You have nothing to worry about. And like I said, even though the devil's way is easier, it doesn't come with peace. It doesn't come with the wisdom and the joy that comes from the Lord. I love you guys. I pray this message was helpful. If it was, make sure you like it. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you need help healing, if you need help shifting your mindset, if you need spiritual guidance or life advice, I would love to work with you. My website will be in the description box, or you can just type in www.coachwithkai.com. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.